Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, half a day, five show to all viewing out there on cable and on Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms. To our guests in the gallery, welcome to the House Chamber. I now call this fifth day, first regular session to order. Please let us all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Thank you, everyone. I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll.
Representative Vada, Representative Aldan, Representative Abdal,
Present.
Representative Benavente,
Yeah.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Present.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Present.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Yeah.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Present.
Representative Castro,
Estiga.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Present.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Present.
Representative Minglonia,
Present.
Representative Vogel,
Gaya.
Representative Omar,
Present.
Representative Probes,
Present.
Representative Sablan,
Estiga.
Representative Nicolas,
Present.
Mr. Speaker,
Present.
Representative Yang Tamay,
Nyangi.
Representative Yumo,
Present.
Mr. Speaker, all 20 members are present.
Thank you, clerk. With all 20 members present, that constitutes a quorum. We can move forward with today's session. We now move down to item number 2, public comments, and the floor is open. Please state your name and the entity you represent. You have 3 minutes. And if you have any written comments, please feel free to, that you would like to submit, please feel free to give it to the Sergeant at Arms to turn it into the clerk. Looks like there's none under public comments. We now move down to item number 3, adoption of journals, and we have none. We now move down to item number 4, introduction of bills, and I recognize Representative Roman Benavente.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon to everyone. Mr. Speaker, I would like to introduce House Bill 23-30 to impose an additional 5% on any licensed contractor that earns an early gross revenue to $250,000 or more for a period of 3 years. Mr. Speaker, this is a sunset provision. It has a terminating effect. So, just for the record, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Representative Roman Benavente, and House Bill 23-30 will be referred to the Committee on Commerce and Tourism. Thank you, colleagues. With no further bills, no House local bills, no legislative initiatives, we move down to item number 5, introduction of resolutions. We have none under House Resolution, House Joint Resolution, House Commemorative Resolution. On item D, House Concurrent Resolutions, I recognize the Chairman of Ways and Means, Representative Ralph Yumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now introducing House Concurrent Resolution number 23-1 to approve revenues and resources of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands as identified pursuant to Article 3, Section 9A of the Constitution as amended and 1 CMC Division 7 for fiscal year 2023, effective upon the passage of this resolution and ending on September 30, 2023, to reflect proposed revisions on FY23 Annual Appropriation Act enacted as Public Law 22-22, pre-filed by myself and several others. Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Yumo. With no objection, House Concurrent Resolution 23-1 will be placed on the resolution calendar today for action. Thank you. With no further resolutions, we move down to item number 6, messages from the governor. We have none. We move down to item number 7, Senate communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 7, Senate Communications, we have Senate Communication 23-4 through 23-8.
Thank you, Clerk. I now recognize the floor leader for the proper motion to accept Senate communications. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House accept Senate Communications 23-4 through 23-8 to become property of the House. So moved.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to accept Senate communications, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay. All in favor to accept Senate communications, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate communications are hereby now the property of the House. For Senate Communication 23-7, referring to transmitting House action on Senate Bill 23-09, that will be referred to the Committee on JGO. And Senate Communication 23-8, referring to Senate Joint Resolution 23-01, that will be referred to the Committee on FFA and PUTC. So I urge the chairpersons to please work together on this. Thank you. With nothing further, we move down to House Communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 8, House Communications, we have House Communication 23-27 and 23-28.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under House Communications? Ready? Thank you, members. We now move down to item number 9. Communications from the Judicial Branch, we have none. Communications from departments and agencies, item number 10, we have none. Item number 11, miscellaneous communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 11, miscellaneous communications, we have one item, miscellaneous communication 23-16.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under miscellaneous communication 23-16? Recognize Representative Attal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And just to congratulate the newly elected youth senators, and also to congratulate the candidates that ran for each of the respective seats. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Attal. Any more discussions under miscellaneous communications? Ready? All right. We move down to item number 12, reports of standing committees. We have none. Item number 13, reports of special and conference committees. We have none. Item number 14, unfinished business. We have none. We now move down to item 15, resolution calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution number 23-1, a House Concurrent Resolution to approve revenues and resources of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands as identified pursuant to Article 3, Section 9A of the Constitution, as amended, and 1 CMC Division 7 for fiscal year 2023, effective upon the passage of this resolution and ending on September 30, 2023, to reflect proposed revisions to the fiscal year 2023 Annual Appropriations Act, enacted as Public Law 22-22. So moved.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made to adopt House Concurrent Resolution 23-1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? I recognize Representative Attal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Chairman of Ways and Means for getting this concurrent resolution prepared for our action today. Just for informational purpose for the members, I actually spoke to the Senate President, and they've done their analysis on the budget, but she thought that with the settlement fund payment was inclusive of the 25% that's obligated to our retirees. Unfortunately, those information are coming from the general appropriations. It's not an earmark, so we do not have to change the concurrent resolution as written right now, at least the numbers that were submitted by the administration. Until they come up with new numbers, then we will be amending the numbers on the concurrent resolution. So I just want to put that for the record, that those monies that are potentially new monies for the actual budget will be reflective on the budget bill itself, but it will not change the the ceiling of this current budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Atal. Floor is still open for discussion. Ready? Okay, if we're ready, I'd like to recognize the clerk to please call the roll.
Representative Ada,
Yes.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Atal,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Good.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Maglonia,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Ngan.
Representative Omar,
Yes.
Representative Probes,
Yes.
Representative Sablan,
Good.
Representative Nicolas,
Yes.
Representative Yantamay,
Aware.
Representative Yumo. Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 20 members voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 20 members present voting yes, House Concurrent Resolution number 23-1 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 16, bill calendar. We have none. Item number 17, miscellaneous business, and the floor is open. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 18, announcements. Floor is open. I recognize Representative Ralph Yumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, members, for adopting House Concurrent Resolution 2023-1. The Ways and Means will convene this afternoon at 3 p.m. We encourage every member to sit in and take part as we deliberate on the budget this afternoon. I believe let me hand it over to my co-chair, Rep. Atal, on the provisions that will be discussed.
Recognize Representative Atal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I didn't know where the chairman of Ways and Means was going, but I believe that obviously we have the numbers in front of us, whatever is submitted by the administration. I think all the members should participate in this. We have such a short window to get this bill taken care of, so we can at least not disrupt the functions of the government. I guess the target date the target date to effectuate the 72 hours is April 1st. So if we can put our minds together, work on the provisions. It's the provisions that are the bigger, the meat of this legislation. We have the numbers, but if we put the provisions and tighten it up so that we in the legislature also are up to date and abreast with all the information, most especially the collections that we'll be getting here on forward, so that we can be able to determine what FY 2024 is going to look like. And we will be getting that submission by May 1st. So please, members, if you are available, let's work with the chairman and the members of the committee on Ways and Means at 3 p.m. We'll try to get this bill taken care of and try to get it out of this body. So the Senate have any changes that they may want to add, we can go to conference committee and address it. I hope we don't have to get to that point, and whatever concerns that they may have right now with the current submission by the administration, we can address in the House so we can smoothly pass the Senate and get to the governor's desk for action, and to give our people some opportunity to prepare themselves come April 1st. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Atal. Chairman Yumo, you're good?
Thank you. I yield.
Okay. Thank you. And on that note, too, we'll just wait in terms of the process and the progress of the Ways and Means Committee in terms of the revised budget. And I'm looking at maybe calling a session either Friday afternoon, probably the latest might be Saturday morning, depending on when the Ways and Means gets the budget going out of committee. Okay, just a heads up. All right, floor is still open under announcements. Ready?
Ready.
All right, we'll move down to adjournment, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Subject to the call of the Speaker, I move for adjournment.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for adjournment and has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, all in favor to adjourn, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The session is hereby adjourned. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.